Here's how the Fed raising interest rates affects property values all across the country. So first, the Fed doesn't control mortgage rates directly. They control what is known as the federal funds rate. And this is the rate that banks borrow money at. So this is of course going to have an indirect effect on our mortgage rates that we see in the market. Now, rates that are tied to the Fed fund rate are things like short-term loans, so credit cards, certificates of deposit, savings accounts, and ARM loans. Because those are pegged directly to the Fed funds rate, those are all dictated directly by the Fed. Now, long-term mortgage rates are affected indirectly because, as you'll see using these cool charts, that the 30-year mortgage rate and the 10-year Treasury bill are very closely aligned over time. And because the 10-year Treasury bill is known as the risk-free rate, this is the rate that you could earn with almost virtually no risk. Okay, so if you give them $100, they're going to give you, 2.9% right now. And that's going to be your risk-free return because there's basically no risk unless the US government defaults, which is very unlikely to happen. Now, banks are going to take this rate because they know that they can invest that same amount of money, and they're going to tack on a spread because they need to make a profit. So they're going to track that rate, and they're going to add on top of that the spread that they want to make, and that becomes your mortgage rate. So the 10-year T-bill is at 2.96% right now. The banks are tacking on, another 2 to 3% to get to that 5.5%, 6% mortgage rate that you're seeing right now. So how does this chain of events affect your property value based on the interest rate hikes? Well, here's how. So firstly, interest rates go up. Well, then mortgage rates go up. And then when mortgage rates go up, monthly payments go up. And when monthly payments go up, your affordability goes down because you can afford less house for the same monthly payment. And your mortgage is, of course, based on how much you can afford to pay each month. Now, when affordability goes down, that doesn't automatically mean that property prices have to come down, but that does start to provide some downward pressure, and then prices have to come down to meet those buyers, right? Because now all of a sudden your buyers can afford 10% less house. Well, property values are probably going to start coming down about 10% until buyers can start affording them again. So in conclusion, that's how federal interest rate hikes affect your mortgage rate, which affects your monthly payment, which affects your affordability, which ultimately affects the property values in the area. Kind of convoluted, but I hope we simplified it here. I know you guys got a lot more questions about interest rates and stuff, so drop those in the comments and follow along. We're going to cover all this stuff and a lot more good stuff about real estate investing, home prices, and what you need to do to stay on top of things in 2022.